Hello everyone and welcome to my vlog for day 6 and day 7 of the Jumpstart January Read-A-Thon. So I have again needed to combine a couple of days together because I did not get much reading done yesterday. I worked from 8:30 to 5:30 and I didn't have much time to do much reading, and I was so tired in the evening. We ended up sitting down and playing a board game. I probably could have taken some footage of that for you, but I just didn't. I was too tired. It just didn't happen. Filming was a no-go yesterday. Reading was a no-go. I have no idea. I think I've barely done any reading, but I do know that I read 15 minutes or listened to 15 minutes of my audiobook, The Handmaid's Tale. It's an interesting one. I honestly thought I would enjoy it more than I have been. It's interesting. There's just not a lot of action happening. It's just sort of a lot of talk and describing eggs in sunlight, weird things like that. I think I probably read... How much did I read yesterday? I started at page 90 today. I don't know how much reading I've actually did yesterday, page count wise. Today it is now 11:15, 10:11 in the morning on Sunday. It's the last day of the read-a-thon. I've not got as much reading done as I would like to. However, I have just finished reading The Reptile Room and it was like 190 or so pages, so I'll work out the page count with that one. I'll add them all together and that is the total number of pages I've read. I've not listened to any more of The Handmaid's Tale. I've not really had any opportunities yet. I probably will though. I will listen to it, but I don't think I'll finish it. I think I've still got 5 or 6 hours left of the book. But that's alright, I'm enjoying it. What I might do today for my reading, as it is the last day and we have guests coming over in a few hours time for like lunch through the afternoon, I don't know how much reading I'll be able to do whilst they're here, because that's generally considered an antisocial thing. However, I'm thinking that I'll try and pick up some graphic novels. So I'm technically supposed to be reading Seeing Red next, which is the sequel to The Looking Glass Wars, which is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. So I will probably start reading that anyway because I really love this series. But I also have a couple of graphic novels I might dive into. So I think I'm going to start with reading Low and then I might move on to me reading Monstrous if I get the time. They're just short and it would be great to just have a little bit of a read of them and see what they're all about, and that would be another couple of book counts for the year and page counts and all sorts of things like that. So those are the last 2 graphic novels I have to read that I own, but I do have some more coming in the mail. So I guess we'll just have to see how the rest of the day pans out. I'll try to get some good filming in so we actually have something to show you at the end of the day, but I'm pretty pleased with how things have been going. One thing I have been considering is maybe not picking up Seeing Red and picking up Invictus instead, because I put Invictus down for this readathon because I really wanted to work towards my yearly goal of completing a series, but I've only got about 100 pages left of Invictus, and I've also got another arc that I'm in the middle of. So I'm thinking that maybe today I could try and finish both of them off if I get enough time, and then get 2 more books finished. And I feel like that might be a smarter move than trying to start and read a whole book today. Anyway, you'll see what happens in the next few minutes, so I'll talk to you in a second.
Don't throw any t-shirt on and walk to a bar. She don't text her friends and say, I got it.
Hey guys, it's now just about to go 2 in the afternoon. Our guests are about to come around, so I don't know how much filming I'll do whilst they're here, as I said, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a quick update. I have changed because it is so hot today. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but at some point in this video you might have already seen it. I've taken a clip of what the sky looks like. It is 36 degrees Celsius today, which is very hot. That's somewhere in the 90s for you Americans, I believe. My weather app is only telling me that it is 24% humidity today. This feels just as bad as any day in Orlando. This feels like 90% humidity. It's awful, so I am slowly dying, but I thought I would give you a quick update because I have read 10 pages of Invictus. I just had a quick sit down and flip through a chapter to read that, so I've made a small amount of progress and that's about it. So we'll see how much reading I get done. I'm at page 325 in this, and this is a 460 page book, so I don't know if I'll actually get it done today, but that would be really cool if I could finish off one more. Okay, off I go.
Gotta get laid tonight. She don't say it's okay. I never loved him anyway. She don't scroll through her phone just looking for a band-aid. It's different for girls when their hearts get broke. They can't tape it back together with a whiskey and coke. They don't take someone home.
So, it's another day. Look who didn't get all her filming done. That's me, I didn't get it done, but it's okay. It's okay. I didn't have enough time to get some more footage that was decent for you. So I decided to do the exciting thing of just kind of updating you on the rest of the Read-A-Thon right now, and then doing a proper wrap-up all in one video. Two birds and one stone, am I right? I'm actually going to have to rewatch what I've edited so far, because it might be Tuesday, it might be 2 days later when I'm actually getting around to doing this. Life is hard. When I last spoke to you, or just before that, whenever it was, I might have made promises that I would try and read other books. I'd finish Invictus, I'd finish The Girl Who Drank the Moon, or I'd read the whole of Seeing Red, or I'd read a graphic novel. I didn't do any of that. I read those 10 pages of Invictus, and I went to bed. The most productive thing that I did was make a checklist. So I now have a really cool checklist of all the things I have to get done in my life, which probably should have included stop writing this checklist and finish vlogging, but there we go, here we are. So I'm going to start by giving you a general unload of how I feel about how this week went. I really enjoyed doing this readathon. It was hard work because I was 100 times busier than I thought I was going to be. I really struggled making some of the vlogs with actually getting enough footage for you guys and all that sort of thing, but it is what it is and you do what you do. I'm glad that I did run it because it was fun to do my own readathon and just, you know, really think about reading for the week and to just make lots of videos. I love making videos, I love editing them, I love doing the music, I love doing it, it's so much fun. So that was definitely one of the highlights this week. Now, I was feeling a little down about how much I actually got read for the week because my page count came in at a total that was much lower than I wanted it to be. But I also then realised that throughout the week I've been keeping the total page count and audiobook count separate, so it's actually going to be a little bit higher, and I've yet to work out the statistics of that one, but I'm going to try and work that one out and we'll see what happens. For that reason, I'm glad, because even though it might not have been like 2,000 pages, I only read 1,000 pages and something in December. I've just done my wrap up on my blog for that one, and when I compare that to how much reading I got done just this 1 week in January, this was definitely helpful. It's put me on a good foot for the start of the year. I'm trying to read 100 books this year and I'm 2 ahead of schedule. I've read 5 already and I am actually amazed that I'm ahead of schedule because it feels doable. I'd love to say that I spent like 6 hours every day reading, but I didn't do that at all. However, audiobooks were my saving grace. In total, I finished reading 3 books. The first one was The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Now this one I was actually already nearly at the end for anyway, so whether this counts or not, well yeah, it does count because I'm saying it counts. I finished it off. This was a spectacular read. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars and it's on my all-time favourites list. I absolutely adored it. I will hopefully have a review up for this on my blog in the next few months. It should be the next few days, but let's not talk about how far behind I am on reviewing. Wait a second. I finished 4 books. Amendment! I finished 4 books in this week. The second book that I then finished for the week was a graphic novel, and that was Descender by Jeff Lemire, and this was really, really good. I enjoyed this a lot. I ended up rating it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, because whilst I really did enjoy it, it was a little bit, higgledy-piggledy with its plot. It was a little bit all over the place, and I did definitely enjoy it, but I feel like this will read so much better with a story arc with like all of the volumes, so I'm excited to get the second volume and like follow it on from there. But nonetheless, it was 160 pages to add to the total and I enjoyed it. It was something new, it was fun and good, and boom, we then moved on to my third book. The third book that I read was The One by Kira Cass. I am very pleased that I've got this one done because I have been meaning to finish off this part of the series for so long. I believe my rating for it was 3.5 out of 5 stars simply because I didn't enjoy it as much as the second book. The Elite was actually really good. I really enjoyed that. But I found this one a little bit like, it was a lot of not a lot happening. One of the best things about that is that it has ticked off a yearly goal for finishing off a series. So whilst I haven't finished the series because I've got the Heir to go, in my mind I'm considering it as like partially done, so that's good progress towards my yearly goals. The last book that I finished for the week was The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket, and this was fantastic to read because these don't take long to read, although it did take me 3 days. I had to finish this one in all those stolen moments in between things that you find. I could probably say I was a little disappointed with this sequel. I really enjoyed the first one. And I did enjoy this one. But again, I found my problem with the plot is the whole thing happens in one space, if that makes sense. The whole thing happens in just the house and a lot of it in the reptile room. I don't know why, I just would have felt much better if there was a bit more moving around and a bit more happening. This was another 3.5 out of 5 star read for me in the end, so that was really good. Now the other books that I was reading is I did read 10 pages of Invictus, but we're not going to talk about that one because it's not done and it wasn't really worth the count, but that's fine. I was also reading The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Now I nearly made it to the halfway point in this audiobook audiobook, and it's been really interesting. It probably wasn't the best book to be reading for a readathon, but this was good, so that was a good amount of reading that I got done for that one, and was like my 5th book, so I was actually doing a pretty good job for reading. I don't think I realised how good I was doing. My statistics for the week were that I finished off 4 books and that I got partway through 2 other books. My page count total for the physical books that I read ended up being 685, whilst the number of hours and minutes that I listened to audiobooks was just shy of 5 hours at 4 hours and 57 minutes. I'm now going to try and do the conversion to work out what that total would have been. I audiobooks the equivalent of 162 pages, which brings my final page tally count for the week to 827. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that's a pretty good number for a week's worth of reading, so 827 pages over 5 different books is not bad at all. So that is my wrap up for the week. Very pleased with how it went, but I will say goodbye now to avoid this becoming an stupidly long video, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Disappears, they can't pretend it was never there.